It's time for more NBA action. He was an international star whose career was tragically cut short. The story of Drazen Petrovic in this week's Time Out.
He was the Michael Jordan of Europe. He was the best player over there.
He's the best off-screen shooter that I ever played with, and probably the best that ever played in the NBA.
He wanted to become the first great European player, and he was on his way.
Por el Real Madrid en el puesto de base, at guard, número 5, 1,97 m, number 5, 6'6", Drazen Petrovic.
A decade ago, Vlade Divac, Toni Kukoc, and Dino Radja all were stars on Yugoslavia's national team. But it was their teammate Drazen Petrovic who would set the standard for European players. He led his country to a silver medal at the 1988 Olympics, displaying the brilliance that was first noticed at a young age.
People were talking about Drazen when he was 17 years old. Drazen was a scorer. He was a compulsive scorer.
After conquering Europe at the professional and Olympic level, Drazen looked to new horizons. In 1986, he was a third-round pick of the Portland Trail Blazers. And after a few more years in Europe, Petro arrived in Portland in 1989. While he showed signs of his talent, his playing time was limited. And in the middle of the 91 season, he was traded to the New Jersey Nets.
I thought him coming to play for us in New Jersey would be a tremendous thing because we have a large Croatian community here in the New York area, and we needed a great shooter, and he was that.
It was in New Jersey where Drazen proved he belonged in the NBA. As his minutes increased, so did his production, and the rest of the league was starting to take notice.
Petro for three, got it!
Oh, this is as good as being home, he's saying.
But things weren't nearly as good back home in Yugoslavia. A civil war had broken out between Drazen's native Croatia and the Republic of Serbia. The conflict had Petrovic and his former teammates taking opposite sides, and it broke apart their friendships.
There was a war. War happened, and we split. And there was a couple of guys on one side, a couple of guys on the other side.
As Drazen tried to focus on his NBA career, the war in Yugoslavia was weighing heavily on his mind.
There are a few games when we look back that his performance has been down due to the fact that he received a phone call or two, and it has to be very depressing to know that your loved ones are over there, and it has affected them.
I can't believe people dying in the Civil War, hundreds and hundreds of people. That's not very good, and I still can't believe that's happening in my country.
Despite the distractions of the events back home, Petro's dedication to basketball never wavered. He constantly honed his game, displaying a tireless work ethic.
He would stay after practice and shoot hundreds of just jump shots off screen, just 100, just constant, for a half hour, 45 minutes. He probably the most hardest working, dedicated basketball player that I've ever been around.
I thought he had a tremendous amount of drive. I mean, desire, determination to be better than he was or be better than the American players were.
Teaming up with a young Kenny Anderson and Derek Coleman, Drazen helped lead the Nets to the 92 playoffs, and their future looked bright.
That team had a chance to be a real dangerous club in the playoffs. There were a lot of pieces with that club.
The Nets made the playoffs again in '93 as Petro led the team in scoring, averaging 22 points a game. He was becoming one of the NBA's most reliable shooters.
I mean, if he missed a shot, I mean, you look at the free throw back and say, I can't believe that. And you never saw him miss.
What a shot by Petrovic. Oh, he's like Rado.
Petro, that's for three, got it!
Petrovic spotting up. A three-pointer for the NBA's leading three-point shooter.
Drazen's great shooting, combined with his intensity and enthusiasm, had quickly made him a big favorite among the New Jersey fans.
We love Drazen! Drazen Petrovic. You gotta love this guy.
Pumping the fist, getting you motivated to play, and no matter what we're down, we come to the sidelines like, hey, we can win, we can win. DC, kick it to me for 3. You know, all the time. He just had that motivation in him. Like he always go, you know, no matter what the odds were, he was always going to win.
But tragically, it all came to an end on June 7th, 1993. Drazen Petrovic was killed in an automobile accident outside Munich, Germany. Petrovic was only 28 years old.
It's such an unfortunate accident. It's hard to describe.
It's like all of us lost a brother, a son, or a great friend.
He was a great guy. You know, we really miss him.
There was a terrible thing, and now every time the national team comes together, we always share our memories about him.
Everybody had kind of just adopted him, and everyone loved him. I mean, it was really a tremendous blow to the organization, to the franchise when we lost him.